Cute.
Happy Friday, Bears. Welcome back to Kickin' It Live.
Coming up, we look at community school, our ice hockey Bears, and an update with construction and our favorite biking teacher.
Miami Trace Local School District is closed today due to a high volume of influenza B cases. Attendance Secretary Tammy Fisher and school nurse Gina Rancitelli said that there has been an increase in absences and more people seeing the nurse like flu-like symptoms. Mrs. Rancitelli stated that the Center for Disease Control reported yesterday that the flu vaccine this year was not as strong as they thought it would be.
Poetry Out Loud is an annual spoken word competition. The high school level competition is January 30th. If you would like to learn more, look in the bulletin board inside the Little Theater for an info packet and a calendar.
There are 4 remaining spots on the 2020 Andros Island trip. See Mr. Orloff in room 232 or check out the posting on Schoology.
If you've ever wondered what is going on in room 119, Will Reynolds visited the class to see what happens.
Some students at Upper Arlington learn in a different way through community school. Ms. Sutton explains what community school is.
Community school is pretty much where students come together. They like to take community school classes so they can take their English, social studies, and science classes together as a cohort throughout the years that they join us. They can join as sophomores and continue through senior year.
Community school gives students many opportunities. Emerson Watkins explains one.
So the Odyssey project, unlike a capstone, is a self-driven, more independent-based process of creating a product that you will present at the end of the year. Certain CS classes you will not have to come to school for because that time will be designated time to pursue your Odyssey. It's really good for independence. It helps explore your passionate interests. You can learn things before you go to college.
Along with Odyssey, field trips, and class discussions, Ms. Sutton explains her favorite part.
My favorite part is I'm able to establish these deeper relationships with my students over a long course of time, because if I have a student as a sophomore, I could have them for their English class as juniors and as seniors. So I could have a student for potentially 3 years. I understand all their strengths and weaknesses as academics in their personal lives so that I can help them grow before they go off to college and the workplace.
This has been Will Reynolds reporting for the
WARL.
There will be an informational meeting on Tuesday at 6:15 in the West Cafeteria for students interested in learning more about community school. Attendees will have an opportunity to meet with and ask questions of the program teachers and student leaders.
And now Sydney and Ava on sports.
Welcome to sports. Our wrestling Bears had a meet last night against Central Crossing. The Bears won 59-23. Their next meet is on Thursday versus Marysville.
Girls basketball won Tuesday night against Hilliard Bradley 39-30 at their annual Faculty Appreciation Night. Players give the teacher of their choice a flower and a t-shirt to show their gratitude.
This game tied up their record. It is now 7-7. They have an OCC game tonight away against Central Crossing.
Boys basketball lost Tuesday night against Bishop Hartley 46-49. Their record is now 6-7 and they have a home game against Central Crossing tonight.
On Saturday, the undefeated Hockey Bears won 7-2 against Olentangy Orange. On Sunday, they won again 5-1 against New Albany. Jessica Stelzer reports more.
Upper Arlington Hockey has an undefeated season as of now with a record of 24-0. Duncan McDonald reports on how the season has gone so far.
Haven't lost a game. Haven't lost. That's a plus. Kind of 24-game win streak so far. Got a big tournament this weekend, and hopefully we'll take care of business there.
The team's goalie, Garrett Alderman, gives his thoughts on how they will do in the upcoming tournament.
We've won 3 of our 4 tournaments so far, and hopefully make a clean sweep and win our 4th, 4 out of 4.
With this winning streak, the boys have gotten pretty close and come up with some post-game traditions.
Usually we hit up Canes. We get the buy one, get one freeze when we win. So
always hitting up Canes.
Yeah, it's packed. If you're not there, I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, and we're always
all the buttes on the team are there, so you should probably pull up.
This has been Jessica Stelzer reporting for the WARL.
The puck hits the ice tonight at the Mark Rasmus Memorial Tournament at 8:30 p.m. versus St. X in Sylvania.
Gymnastics placed 9th out of 16 teams at the McGee Invitational on Saturday. The team's next meet is Tuesday at Thomas Worthington at 6 p.m.
Swimming and diving competed against Mason on Saturday. Both the girls and boys won. The girls' record is now 5-0 and the girls is 4-1.
The Swim and Dive Bears senior night is tomorrow at 1:30 at the Natatorium versus Jerome and Olentangy. The theme is Hawaiian.
The Special Olympics bowling season begins on Sunday. The team is in need of volunteers. Contact Jean Cofford at jcofford@uaschools.org.
Now to Rebecca and Jess with Community News.
Hey everyone, welcome to Community News. Martin Luther King Day is Monday and many events are happening around Columbus to celebrate.
Some of these events include an MLK open house from noon to 4 p.m. at the King Arts Complex, an MLK Day March from 4:45 to 5:15 p.m. at East High School, and an MLK Junior Remembrance Celebration from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Ohio History Center. Columbus Zoo is also offering free admission for this day.
Ready for a change? Signs posted with this phrase can be found all over UA, including on Wesleyan Avenue. The signs direct citizens to a website that provides information on upcoming construction and projects.
The construction on the new high school is still underway. Ellie and Maria are back to give us another construction update.
Progress has been made on the new high school despite obstacles like wind, rain, and mud.
Well, welcome back to the high school construction site. We're standing right by the front entrance here, and we've made a lot of progress since we've last visited the site. On the academic wing, the first, the second, and the third floor is about 60% done with the concrete floors all being poured, and Rosilli continues to pour concrete floors throughout the rest of the academic wing. You're seeing a lot of steel has been put in place. The auditorium is starting to take shape and making a lot of progress on the underground plumbing throughout the whole building. And so lots of progress here since we've last visited the site, and really excited about the high school coming together.
This has been Maria Manessi and Ellie Hartrift reporting for the WARL.
All construction sites throughout UA continue to be on time and on budget. Maria and Ellie will keep giving us updates throughout the year.
There is a college planning meeting on Wednesday at 7 p.m. in the UAHS auditorium.
Fairy Godmothers, an organization that offers free prom dresses, is coming to school on Tuesday. They'll be outside the East Cafeteria if you'd like to get involved.
Taylor Swift officially revealed her Netflix documentary, Miss Americana, and will be released on Friday, January 31st. This documentary will follow her life over the course of several years of her career.
Whitney Houston, Notorious B.I.G., Depeche Mode, Nine Inch Nails, T-Rex, and the Doobie Brothers will be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland for 2020.
And now to special reports with Tad and Mr. Silliman.
Thanks, Rebecca. Good morning, Bears, and welcome to Special Reports. I'll be reporting live from a location around the school or UA every other week for the remainder of the third quarter. This morning, I'm taking a trip to room 203 to talk to the biking legend, Mr. Silliman. For the last 18 years, Mr. Silliman has been riding his bike to school as often as he can. Rebecca reports more.
If you've ever considered riding your bike to school, math teacher Mr. Silliman has been doing it throughout his years of teaching UAHS.
And I find if I don't incorporate exercise into my day somehow, it's just part of my transportation to school, that I have a really hard time finding time for it in other places.
As well as making an environmental impact, Mr. Silliman has made a strong impact on his students.
My favorite thing that Mr. Silliman does is probably that he structures his lessons, and he certainly encouraged me to work harder and to understand the value of going above and beyond on tests.
Mr. Silliman loves getting his students involved, including telling jokes on Fridays and pulling from a student joke box on Wednesdays. He also encourages them to help him fundraise for the Pelotonia.
About 6 years ago, I started riding in Pelotonia. My grandfather had cancer and was treated at the James, and so I was looking for a way to kind of give back to them for the amazing care that they provided for him.
The class that fundraises the most money gets to decide what Mr. Silliman shaves his beard into.
I get to wear it one day out of the school year, and it's tremendously embarrassing for me, but I think the kids really enjoy it.
This has been Rebecca Murray reporting for the WARL.
Welcome back. We are now in Mr. Silliman's AP Stats room. How are you this morning, Mr. Silliman?
I'm doing really well. Thanks for asking.
Of course. Yeah. First of all, did you ride your bike to school this morning?
No, I kind of wussed out this morning. It was a little bit too cold, and I had some errands to run after school, so I drove.
Happens to the best of us. All right, well, how many times a week would you say you ride your bike to school?
When the weather's really nice, I go maybe 4 or 5 times. This time of year, maybe 2 or 3.
Okay. A winter advisory has been issued for Central Ohio this morning. How does this impact your biking schedule?
It kind of puts a cramp on it. Most of my ride is on the bike trail at Olentangy Trail, so when the snow gets kind of packed down on that, it makes it really kind of difficult and treacherous to be out there. I've actually fallen a couple times and been injured. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. What other forms of exercise do you enjoy?
I like to hike a lot. I lived in Colorado for a couple of years, so I like to mountain bike when I can, and I like lift a couple times a week. So I just try to do a little bit of everything.
Nice. Do you ever compete in bike races other than the Pelotonia?
No, I'm much too slow.
Oh, there you go. How about a quick joke to end it off?
Oh,
joke
what do you? What's the difference between a well-dressed man on a bicycle and a poorly dressed man on a tricycle?
I don't know. What is it?
A tire.
Oh, well, you're here to hear first, folks. Thank you, Mr. Silliman, for being on the show today. And now, back to Maine.
The Recording Academy is without a president just 10 days ahead of the 62nd Grammy Awards. Recording Academy President and CEO Deborah Dugan has been placed on administrative leave after 6 months on the job following a misconduct allegation.
Performances at the Grammys were announced this week featuring artists like Billie Eilish, Tyler the Creator, and Demi Lovato. The Grammys take place on January 26 at 8 p.m.
On Monday, we have no school due to Martin Luther King Jr. Day. This day is a federal holiday following on the third Monday of every January.
While celebrating King's birthday, the day also honors his legacy and shines a light on the civil rights movement. The holiday was approved as a federal holiday in 1983, becoming the first federal holiday honoring an African American.
Next week, we will take a look at Johnny's Cups of Kindness, Welcome to My Crib Locker Room Edition, and Swimming and Diving Senior Night.
That is all for this week, Bears. Enjoy your 3-day weekend.